So once again, my name is Alex Smith, and I'm a City and Regional Planning student at Ohio State University. I'm here to talk to you about Columbus, Ohio, and why I freaking love this city. There's many reasons why I like this city, and again, I've lived all around the country, but I always come back, there's something that always draws me back to Columbus. And I'm going to talk about a different side of Columbus as well. So usually when we think about Columbus, we think about these things. We think about it being the capital city, or the home of the Ohio State University, or perhaps the State Fair, which brings people in from all around the state, or the Convention Center, which brings people from all around the country and the world as well, or the Columbus Zoo as well, which has an international reputation here. But I'd like to look beyond that and look at some of the other things, some things that are a little more important on a very local level, more of a neighborhood level, things that can make us locally unique here in Columbus, Ohio, because a lot of cities have those other things that were just posted up there, but I think there's some very unique things about Columbus that we can discover. So I'd like to start off by talking about restaurants. We have a wonderful organization here, the Dine Originals organization. All restaurants are unique and independently owned and operated here in Columbus, Ohio. A lot of these restaurants, like Elena's and Bossy's, source from local farmers, again, kind of really enforcing our local economy, and at the same time really showing the uniqueness that we have here in Columbus. And that spreads even further out as we look at the different ethnic restaurants that we have here across Columbus, which kind of shows that we're not just a cow town here in Columbus, that we have a very global presence within our own community here in Columbus. And it's a common thread through us all that we all have to eat. It's a wonderful way to discover a city from an outside or an inside perspective here. Also, our burgeoning food cart scene that we have here in Columbus, Ohio is very important. It gives us that cool, hip, trendy image that we all have. And for people who visit our city, they can not only taste our culture within our food, but also feel it from the streets level and look at it as kind of a physical determinism point of view. So they get the real feel of what Columbus is like at the street level. Also, our independent movie theater businesses that we have here, places like the Drexel Movie Theater, where you can see an independent movie you wouldn't see anywhere else, to places like Studio 35, where you can catch a beer, a big tub of popcorn, and a movie for a fraction of the price that you can at a mainstream or bigger commercial movie theater. And also, I think one of the best ways to really get to know a city is to go to some of the local pubs and neighborhood bars. Libations Loosen Lips. And it's a great way to go and meet some of the neighborhood people and really hear their experiences and what they feel about Columbus or their neighborhoods and how that differs from neighborhood to neighborhood. And while you're out at these bars, we also in Columbus are offering a lot of our own microbreweries from places like Born and Hoster, which are being reborn under new ownership, to the Elevator and Barley's, which have been established here and closer to the near future, but still very important. And again, microbreweries have been trendy for a long time, and it again brings us kind of that young, fresh, hip image if we have those things. Some people don't drink though. So we also have a lot of small coffee roasters here, like Backroom Coffee Roasters, that deliver all their coffee on bikes, to Yeah Me Too in Clintonville, which is artist-owned and operated without any commercials or any kind of advertising, to the hip hub of Cafe Brioso right in the heart of our downtown, which is a center for a lot of things. And also you can experience the city through its music. We have some small venues like Skylab and Carabar where you can see some unique bands that you wouldn't see anywhere else without a cover, to the hippie scene that we have with the Rumba Cafe and Ruby Tuesdays, to more of the hip kind of dance scene that we have at Scully's. They have national and local acts there as well. And music does matter. Again, if we have a thriving music scene, we have a thriving nightlife here. And we can keep those young professionals that we want to keep here and perhaps draw more of those young professionals in. To unique venues like Brothers Drake, which is a meadery where you can also see music. To places like the Wild Goose Creative, which is a social action group, and at the same time shows music there as well. From all these venues, we have sprouted many artists that have come from our local scene and went into a national and international level. They spread the culture of Columbus through all those different venues. But we have to also think about, a lot of these artists have moved to Philadelphia or New York. And why are they leaving here? What are we missing here in Columbus? Well, I think one of the things that we're definitely not missing is our festivals that we have here. From the Independence Day to Hot Times, to the Jazz and Rib Fest, where you can sample local food and hear local music, to the very unique Doodah Parade, where you can see people act and dress like they normally wouldn't anywhere else in the entire world, to Hell City, which brings people from all over the country and nation again. And for a more laid-back scene in Columbus, we look to our Parks and Rec system. With over 250 parks and over 10,000 acres of land, we have places like Goodell Park in the Short North, where we hold a lot of our festivals, to Glen Echo, where you can get a feel for the Hocking Hills without ever leaving the city, to the new Scioto Audubon Park, where we have some wonderful recreation facilities now established. And we are a Midwestern city, and one of our strengths here is that we are surrounded by farms. And farmers really revitalize our farmers market and our co-op scene that we have here. And also our community gardens, which bring a sense of community cohesiveness, while again promoting fresh eating, healthy eating as well. So I can't not mention cycling because I am a cyclist myself. I think we have a good system here, but I think with the Bicentennial Master Plan, we're really going to build upon that, and I think we can move beyond that as well. And I think programs perhaps like a bike share can really encourage that growth of infrastructure and encourage more people to get on their bikes. But all this is nice, but it brings back the question, what is our identity? Is it these things that we see up here, or do we need to find a new identity, something different, something that will propel us to a global scale, something that makes us unique, something that you won't find anywhere else, something that we can really project to that scale. And as I stand here in front of you, I really wish I had the answer to this question, because you're all probably wanting to have the answer, but I don't. But the bicentennial is this year, and of course we have a wonderful opportunity to get together collectively and perhaps try to find this identity. And I also want to mention there have been studies that have shown a strong local identity leads to a more sustainable community. And we know that if we're not sustainable, we will not survive in this future that we have in front of us here. So could we be the city of sustainability? And how do we get hip on this global scale? Could it be things like the bike share program, which could kind of combine these things together? Look at Columbus as a progressive city, or we need to redefine localization, where we have a very cohesive local identity that can be proliferated on a global and national scale.